I know. Someone is going to say something about the sunburn on my face. Hello everyone and welcome to session 89. My name is Brianna and I am the dyer, designer, and human behind The Little Wolf Knits and this YouTube channel. And I am so happy to be here with you today on this kind of chilly, gray, and gloomy Tuesday. It is 3:15 in the afternoon and it is Tuesday, May 27th. We just had Memorial Day yesterday here in the US. So even though it is a Tuesday, today is total Monday vibes. And we are just trying to get back into the swing of things. So I am super excited to be here with you today. I'm a little bummed to be wearing what I'm wearing because I thought it would be warmer and nicer out. And I'd be like fully into my summer dress mode, but it's just not where we're at. So let's jump right in and talk about what I'm wearing. Today, with this chilly gray kind of weather we have, I am wearing an oldie but a goodie. This is my second Ave sweatshirt. This is in Taste You Can See on Schooner and Cinnamon Sugar on my 420 base. You could see those really cool little blue sort of blips. This is such a good fit. It is one of my favorite patterns. It is one of your favorite patterns from me. Oh, look at this blanket. Isn't that better? This is one of my most loved patterns, and I can see why. I think so many people, I think all of my testers have made at least 2 versions. I have 3, planning to make a 4th. It is just one of those super simple, it is top down drop shoulder sweaters that fits. You can dress it up, you can dress it down. It replaces your favorite store-bought sweatshirt, I promise you. And it is so good. I know that I have Taste You Can See in the shop. I don't believe I have any in Schooner. I do have a little bit of Schooner ready to ship, but I'm not sure whether I have sweater quantities for a lot of sizes, but check it out. I know there are a few. And that is the only knitted thing that I'm wearing today. So yeah, let's just jump into admin. The only admin thing that I really wanted to say here was that we are well into the swing. We're almost done at this point with week 2 of the Hot Stitch Summer Mal for 2025. And we are already kicking off. People are tagging us. People are casting on. It is so much fun. I am casting on. I am finishing some summer whips. And I actually am looking at a pile of dresses that I have right in front of me to film a reel for this week. Which, if you follow me on Instagram, hopefully, and you have turned on notifications, you will already have seen this post for the prize winner. Showing off all of my dress / full body sort of design. So I'm throwing my jumpsuits in with my dresses there. And yeah, Hot Stitch Summer Mal is just going amazingly already. We still have like over 10 weeks left. If you want to jump in, you can certainly make a dress or a tank or a tee or a bathing suit or socks or any sort of summer project. And all you have to do is come and join me and my friend Chelsea at Knitting Tipsy. And it's going to be a really good time. So that's all I have to say about that. Let's jump into what I've finished. I already mentioned that we had a long weekend here in the US, which means I got lots of knitting time done, and I'm feeling really good about what's happening with my making. But the first finished object I wanted to share with you, I actually finished before the long weekend. I think I finished this maybe on Wednesday, maybe on Tuesday. But I think on Wednesday, by Wednesday, I had finished this, or should I say these, because I have a finished pair of socks that are for Michael for our anniversary. They're on blockers. They are now dry, so I could take them off once I'm done showing these to you. I'm just going to do it with one, but you can see I have two. But they have dried. I can now, the ends are all woven in. I wove in as I went, and then I wove in the first and the last before I blocked them. This is my undyed bear yarn, my birthday suit on Sunfish. This is Prowl, which is leftovers from my G Street sweater. And then I started doing pretty much here some helical knitting, and I started to knit in Alpha Wolf, which were leftovers from my 6th Ave skater tank. I did a contrasting heel, toe, and cuff, which I probably didn't need to because I actually had a little bit of Alpha Wolf left over, and these were quite long. I had Michael look at them, and he was like, I think actually, can you make a shorter cuff? Because I don't want them that tall. So I ended up only going with about an inch of a cuff, and they have a pretty long leg. I think it's like 70 or 80 rows or rounds for that. So I don't always make his this long, and I definitely could have gotten some shorties out of that like 30 or 40 grams I had. So now I know, even for Michael, I can get shorties. For Sophia, I can get like a decent leg, more than an ankle length. And for me, I use about 50 grams for socks for like full socks. So that is more than enough for me. So yes, one FO done, and it feels really good because I finished a gift in the month of May, which I've been wanting to do. So far, I've done it every month. And these are ready for June. And yeah, I think we're just gonna keep on. The bad thing is I'm not necessarily knitting for holiday and like Christmas gifts, but I am getting some birthday, some anniversary sort of things out of the way, Mother's Day. So I'm gonna keep trucking on with this one gift a month to make sure that I get Christmas gifts and birthday gifts underway. But yeah, super excited about these. FO number 1 is finished, and I'm gonna snip those ends and tuck these away until I give them to him next week. So that is the first FO, so the sock blockers over there. The second FO is one that I finished on Friday. No, I think I actually ended up finishing it Saturday morning. But I'm really excited about it. This is my design for August, and it is my 7th Ave. I think I'm going to call it split hem or side split. Let me know if you like one better. 7th Ave side split tank or 7th Ave split hem tank. But it is in my wolfpack colorway on Sunfish, and it is so good. The fit on this is amazing. It has a longer neck, so it's a little bit of a mock neck. And I actually made this one longer than I've been making a lot of things lately. And I have not blocked it yet, so you will be able to see once it's blocked. It's pretty long. And I then have very long ribbing, I think about like 5 or 6 inches. And the back is a little bit longer, about an inch longer than the front of this 2x2 ribbing. I have 2x2 ribbing around the armholes and the neckband, and it's like a little bit of a heavier look. I just love it so much. I cannot wait to see this block out because I know it will relax and block out, and the fit is unreal. This is definitely going to be a staple in my wardrobe immediately. So I think this is one I'm going to have to take pattern pictures of soon. I try not to do that and wear it until the pattern comes out, but I don't think I'm going to be able to wait for this one. These little green pops and these little like copper pops. It's so good. So FO number 2, 7th Ave side split tank, 7th Ave split hem tank. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. But that is my second FO, and I'm very proud of both of those. However, those are not the only things that I've worked on. Like I said, I finished this Saturday morning, which means I've been working on a fair amount on some other things. So let's talk about what else I've been working on. The first thing y'all are gonna see, you have not even seen in this form at all, and you're gonna be surprised. I think so. I think so. But in this bag, and I believe my friend at Lila Styles Me made this bag. It's a type she doesn't normally make, a drawstring like this shape and size. There is a handle, but it's on the inside. So what I tend to do is fold it down like this and then put the handle around my wrist. I can still tighten it like this if I need to, and then the handle sticks out. But inside my donut bag, I have, I don't want you to see it yet, just a little bit of yarn left over. Just a little bit. And you'll see this is hand spun yarn. I spun this a while ago, maybe this last fall, with one of my braids, Linzer Tarts, and then I think 3 braids from Alaire Artifacts, I believe. And I only have a little bit left of this skein. And then I didn't put this in my bag because I didn't want to carry this around for no reason. But then I have this giant skein, and you'll see I really like how I spun this. This is a 2-ply fractal, and this was the darkest one. It had the most brown, and then you'll see this one in the middle has the most like golden gold. So I started with this at the body. It's a bottom up drop shoulder sweater. So I started with this at the bottom of the body, and I'm using it to fade up, and then we'll fade into this. And I don't even know if I'm gonna get into those golds, or I might just get to those when I finish the sweater. I don't know. This feels like so much yarn. This is about 8 ounces of yarn, which makes sense for a DK weight sweater. This used just under 3 skeins of yarn. So it makes sense if I use it. It just doesn't seem like I'll use that much yarn because I am all the way through the front. Don't want to lose this. The front panel of my sweater. I'm working away on the front panel here. And you will see, I have it scrunched up on this needle. I don't want things to come off. I cast on, well, I actually did a little mini swatch because I originally cast on with the wrong end of the ball. So I decided to do a little mini swatch and then go back to the correct end of the ball. I cast on here. Oh, it's so good. And you could see there's this fun like side seam sort of detail. And the fading through the body is amazing. And then it started fading more purpley into the front panel, which I think is so much fun. I'm really, really loving this. And my hope would be to get through the front panel today, tomorrow, and the back panel this week. I would love to have the shoulders of this all connected and be working on I think I'll probably pick up the neckband at that point so that it flows with whatever the fade is there, and then pick up the sleeves and just go. And I'm loving every second of this. This pattern is super easy. It is so mindless, easy to read. So I don't really need to look at the pattern while I'm going on the body, especially. You can read the stitches. And then once you get working flat, I'm still actually not looking at the pattern. I'm just looking to see what my next row needs to be, and then whether I'm the right side or the wrong side of the row, and go from there. I am only really referring to the pattern at this point for length to know how many times I'm supposed to repeat this before I start doing shaping. So 1, 2, I've done 2 repeats, and I should do 6 before I start shaping. So again, I think I should be able to finish this tonight and then do whatever shaping I need today or tomorrow. I'm really, really excited about it. I can't stop squishing it. It is a bit more rustic. I know there were a blend of yarns in here. I think there was some Targhee, some Kent Romney, I think is the roughest one. That's on the body here. I don't know, and I wish I took better spinning notes to know what this fiber content is, but it is rather woolly, and it's so plump and squishy and springy. A mix of this stitch pattern and the yarn, it's just like boing, boing. I mean, you could probably even see it, the yarn itself. Can you see how springy it is? Probably not. And this isn't even one of my best spins, so I'm loving every second of this. I am potentially, we'll see how far I get when I leave the house tonight, bringing this skein of yarn with me. So I'll just throw it in there in case. And yeah, really excited about my progress on this. It's also my only, spoiler alert, my only knit whip at this point in time. And I feel very, very okay with that. It's a nice little palette cleanser. It's DK weight. It's hand spun. I'm in a good place with my designs. I'm ready to cast on my September design. I just need to figure out what yarn I am going to do it with. Potentially a new colorway I'm creating. So for that, for now, I'm loving having that as my only knitting whip, because I also have a spinning whip. I have a wheel spin and a drop spindle spin, and I am loving both of those just as much as I'm loving this knit. So the first one is one that you've seen before, although it looks quite different from the last time you've seen it. This is in my Tanny Casey Monstera leaf bag. I love this so much. And in it, I have my Bosworth drop spindle, which is now full of fiber, because I have spun so much this past weekend. I've split the braid into two, and this is all that's left of the first half beside this little bit here. So I am probably over a third of the way into this spin, and just look at, is it gonna focus? This tweed, like these tweedy bits are so good. This is Seashell in Shaniko wool tweed, and I can't get over how good it is. I'm loving the process of spinning with this, and like I said, it's feeling a little full, so I think now that I'm home, probably at the end of tonight, I'm going to wind this off onto a storage bobbin. I have a bobbin winder. It'll be super quick. I could use a different bobbin to continue the spin, but I'm loving, or a drop spindle. I'm sorry. I could use a different drop spindle to continue the spin, but I'm loving this drop spindle so much that I think I'm going to wind this off and then keep going on this one. And I will not be surprised if this spin is done in the next 2 weeks maybe, because it just feels so nice to be spinning on that with that fiber. So I'm loving every second of it. And I spun at least an hour a day, at least all weekend. And I loved it. The other spin that I've started is my wheel spin, and it is just barely started. One, because I actually plan to start it on Friday afternoon after I finish with all my work obligations. I was like, I'm going to sit down for an hour or two and just spin before we leave. And then Michael ended up getting off of work early, so we left early, and I didn't bring my wheel with me. So I literally just got the yarn, like on the lead, started spinning, and Michael was like, hey, I think we're ready to go. Are you ready? Let's go. And I could have said no, but leaving and avoiding traffic felt more important. So I left, it's still attached to the wheel, this green braid. I believe this is Cormo, and this is the full skein, full braid, the 4-ounce braid from Akara Yarns for her Solstice fiber spin for this last year. And it is just these beautiful shades of green. There's like chartreuse and lime and this more deep sort of Kelly green. And I thought this would be awesome as an option for one of two colors for a brioche hat that I want to make for Michael. I went back and forth. Do I want to make it? I have this braid and a braid from Cesium Yarn, their full skein for their Scooby-Doo countdown, which is like Mystery Machine colors. It's so cute. And I debated, do I want to apply them together or separate? Together or separate? Ultimately, I ended up saying, what am I going to do with 8 ounces of one color for Michael? I'm either going to make him a hat or socks. It's not going to use a full two braids, a full 8 ounces. So instead, I'm going to spin this up as its own yarn and then spin that up as its own yarn. I will use them together for 2-color brioche, and then I will have leftovers that I could use for socks or hat or anything else. And I'm really happy with what I'm doing with this spin. Let me grab my wheel and show you. I have just started it. I'm spinning it pretty fine. This is just like my natural, what feels good to me on this wheel. And I've decided I'm going to practice chain plying with this braid. I'm not very good at chain plying. I've never really given it a fair chance. I haven't watched any videos. I haven't learned anything really. So I think I love the look of a chain plied yarn. I love a 3-ply, the plumpness of it, and I want to give that a chance with this yarn. I think the color play would be really fun. I could sort of blend the dark and light colors and what those look like on the braid. And yeah, I just think it would be really fun. So my plan is to try and practice chain plying with this skein. And then I'm going to use that other skein and turn that into a 3-ply fractal. So I have 2 3-plies spun and plied in different ways so I can see what the color play for the color movement looks like between the 2 methods of plying, what the finished yarn looks like, and then work them together in a brioche hat. I think I'm going to do the Harlow flip and see what we think about that. So super excited there. So happy to be on my wheel again. I have my handspun espinner pro, and boy, did I miss it. Did I miss it? So I'm really happy with all of my projects, where they are now, and I'm just sitting pretty, working away on all of these and not worrying about too much else. But that is all that I'm working on right now. So let's just talk for very briefly about what's in the shop. Okay, just a few things to chat about as far as what's in the shop, because not too much has changed from the last time we talked. And this is the last time I'm going to talk about a lot of things before they shift over coming into the next month. So the first thing I will say is I have likely already dyed this colorway. However, I'm usually off on my math, and there are like 2 or 3 days left in the month. If you're watching this on, Thursday or Friday when this comes out, so you can still grab the Austere Academy, which is the Series of Unfortunate Yarn Club. For this month, the Austere Academy was May's colorway, and June's will be coming next week, so stay tuned for that. If you missed out on this, you still have a chance to get in. Know that if you order now, like in the next 2 days, you won't get it until the end of June, or when it gets dyed. I can't promise it will go out the beginning of the next month, like if you order before the cutoff. So just saying that if you want it, you can still get it, knowing there might be a little bit more of a delay than getting it next week. So yes, Austere Academy. The Wolfpack collection is also leaving the shop. Again, same deal. You have like 2 days left. If you squeak an order in, good for you. It will probably come toward the end of June, beginning of July, potentially, depending on what it is. It could come sooner. I cannot make any promises that it will get to you any sooner than my normal dye to order turnaround, just because it's leaving the shop and new things are filtering in. They're going to have to fit into the dye pans where they can. So those are the two things that are on their way out. We don't have our next month's club filtered in yet, but we still do have our Beetlejuice or Beetlejuice 2 inspired countdowns for the month of October. You have a 13-day or a 30-day option with fingering weight or DK weight yarn or mixed fiber. And then there's also a single day option that you could add on to your countdown or get on its own with the gifts if you want to do like a special opening thing and get all the goodies, or without the gifts if you just want to use that yarn to make an intentional project and you don't need all the extra goodies. So that is still available, and I will say coming next week there will be a new countdown available, so stay tuned for our December Schitt's Creek countdown if you're waiting on it. There's also a new collection that will be coming probably in the next week or two, probably 2 weeks by the time you see it. So there's a lot happening behind the scenes, I promise. There is so much stuff happening. A really big wholesale sort of thing that's going on. Finishing up July countdowns and getting those out. Finishing up this series of Unfortunate Yarn, our Wolfpack collection, this big wholesale thing that's happening, building a new collection. All of that is happening behind the scenes, and it is crazy busy. So that being said, there is still so much ready to ship yarn in the shop. We had a sale this last week, and y'all did a great job of clearing my shelves. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And there is still so much more yarn that is going to be coming into the shop, and we got to make some space on the shelves. So keep going, keep shopping, ready to ship. Know that you can filter by base if you're looking for a certain base, and then see what colorways have stock on those bases. But that is all that I'm going to talk about as far as what's in the shop. Next week, you'll probably see our Moana colorway too. So lots and lots of exciting things coming in the next week or two. If you're not on my newsletter already, make sure to get on my newsletter because I'm going to try and send those out. Probably instead of making one giant newsletter with too much information, I'll probably break it down into all of these little pieces like, hey, this is available now. This is available now. So if you're interested in any of those things, make sure you're on my newsletter and you're all signed up. That's where I will share all of this stuff. That's all I have to say. So let's just wrap this thing up and chat a little bit about life. I know. Someone is going to say something about the sunburn on my face. I promise. I wore lotion. I reapplied 3 times. I did not bring my normal face lotion that I use. I had a stick. Clearly it does not work as well. I have since learned. I've gotten rid of the stick. I actually have kept it as backup in case because I'm sure it's better than nothing. But I have my correct lotion. I promise. I'm practicing safe sun protection. It just wasn't that warm out, and apparently the UV index was very high. So even though we were reapplying lotion, we probably were not applying as much as we needed to, and my skin is still not ready for summer. Anyway, what has been going on in this last week? Michael and I went to see a movie. Did we see 2 movies? We did see 2 movies. We saw Clown in a Cornfield. It was cute. Did I talk about this already? I don't know. It was predictable, but very cute. I liked it. I would recommend it. Then we also saw Friendship on Thursday with a bunch of our friends with Paul Rudd and Tim Robinson, and it was so funny. Hilarious. And I don't like Tim Robinson's shows. I know. But when his comedy had a storyline, I loved it. Like laughing out loud in the movies. It was hilarious. So if you're interested, if you're into his comedy, definitely see it. But even if you're not, it might end up being something that you're interested in. So definitely check it out. I've also done a fair bit of reading. I finished reading The Miserable Mill for the Series of Unfortunate Events, and I have to now start the Austere Academy. I finished reading The Detectives Club I talked about last week. I finished reading Lone Women. I liked it. I loved it for the first 30%, and then I found out what was happening. I liked it less, but I was still very engaged and interested, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. I think I like the ending. We have book club about it tomorrow, so I'm excited to talk to everyone about it. But yeah, very interesting book. And I have also started another book since then. I think it's called Bleak Harbor or something like that. I think someone's son goes missing. I'm not really sure. I'm maybe 5% in. But that is what I started. Michael and I have not been doing too much of watching any shows. We watched a little bit of Succession, but with 2 movie days last week, all of the yarn stuff happening, and the Knicks being in the playoffs, that has been taking up a lot of our watch time, which brings me to my next life moment here. I did not go to any Knicks games because they were both away in Indiana, but we watched the Knicks game on Friday, which hurt, and on Sunday, which hurt for most of the game and then was insane. That we had a 20-point comeback. It was wild. I don't know why they keep doing this to us, especially on the road, but that has been really exciting. We actually canceled our movie for tonight because we're going to watch the game. And we might potentially see a movie on Thursday, but I'm thinking it's not likely with the next game being on Thursday. So we'll see. It's shifting things around, but it's still really fun to be watching. What else? We went down the shore. It was mostly rainy and cold for the whole weekend. We wore sweaters most of the time. However, Monday was beautiful. So beautiful. We were in bathing suits in the backyard, not at the beach. The beach is still cold. But in the backyard, we were playing cornhole, we were knitting, we were reading, we were playing games. It was the perfect day. Chef's kiss. Couldn't have gone any better. And I loved every second of it. But that is mostly what's going on around here. Life is just very busy with work and fun things. I don't want to seem like fun things aren't happening. There's just a lot going on behind the scenes. So that's pretty much it. That's all that I have to talk about. I'm looking forward to this week ahead where hopefully I could bang out, get a lot of work done, but also get a lot of relaxing and crafting and time together with Michael. Because next week is our 2nd wedding anniversary, and I'm very excited for that. Yeah, really excited for that. So I hope that this next week brings you whatever it is that you're looking for, and I hope that you take care of each other. Until next time, bye.